Last week, a horrendous act on live TV was committed by a gun. Well, not really. Vester Lee Flanagan II, also known as on-air personality Bryce Williams, a disgruntled former employee of WDBJ TV in Virginia, brutally and maliciously gunned down Allison Parker and Adam Ward as they were filming a live shot for their station. Now, once again, the discussion is about gun control. Never mind that Flanagan purchased his firearm legally, went through a background check, and was issued the firearm according to the law. It's still about gun control. Every year there are mass killings, accidental shootings, and numerous other incidents of gun fatalities. So, are we to assume, given all the negativity surrounding gun violence, that the left is right? Well, that would be ludicrous. I know many guns that never shoot people. Well, at least not without a human squeezing the trigger. Do I believe in background checks? Yes, I do. Do I believe in a cooling off period before taking possession of a legal firearm? Yes, I do. Do I believe that guns are the reason people get killed? No! Humans have been killing other humans for thousands of years, and unfortunately, they will continue to do so for thousands more. Why? Well, it's human nature. It's passion, it's mental illness, it's anger. It's all about the mental state of man. Can we control that? No. All we can do is try and make sure that the good people outnumber the wacky people. Our illustrious president says that the killings last week indicate we need a stronger commitment to gun control. Because to him, if you aren't a person of color and commit a crime, it's deplorable. If you are a law enforcement officer who fires his weapon in the line of duty, it's a police problem. Here's a news flash for you, Prez. Bad people do bad things to good people every day. And rest assured, if we make it impossible for good people to defend themselves, they will only continue to fall prey to the bad people who could care less about gun control policies. They will wreak havoc on our nation. Then again, I'm not entirely sure that's not your plan. I have been asking those who are anti-gun for a solution for years. But alas, all I ever get is, we don't want guns. Why do we have to come up with a solution? Well, here's why. There are over 3 million known firearms in the U.S. I'm sure that number is off given all the unregistered firearms circulating throughout the continental United States. If you think it's impossible to deport a few million illegal immigrants, then what chance do you think there is of eradicating guns? Jim, what do you think about that?
So I think actually it's 300 million, not 3 million guns.
Did I say?
You said 3 million, but I think it's 300
It
million.
is 300 million.
If memory serves. So you know, Bob, I'm on board with you. I'm similar to where you are. I'm not a gun-toting guy necessarily, but I believe in the right to bear arms. And I think that regardless, I'm one of the people that believe that regardless of what we do, the bad guys are going to get guns.
They're always going to get them. Always.
Well, I'm on the side that Bob is full of crap on this one.
Go ahead.
To be
Tell
honest
us.
with you.
Right, go.
First of all, laying it on the president is totally inappropriate. And I think some of the comments you made about the president were totally inappropriate and inaccurate. In terms of gun control is about people. It's about making sure the people who ought not to have weapons don't get them.
Right.
But they will.
Oh,
And the thing
believe
is,
me,
but the thing
I'm all
is-
for that.
I agree with that. But the thing is that the shooting you're talking about just goes to show that the current gun controls we have, at least in that particular state, are not working. So what
what's
do you
the
do? Do you
solution?
get rid of them or do you fix them?
What's the solution?
Well, gun control advocates will generally say, fix the daggum laws. Well, then let's fix
But
them.
how? I
How?
mean, you keep saying that. I keep hearing that
Well,
from all those
gentlemen-
liberal lefts, and no one wants to give me
Well,
a
then
how.
make the background checks tougher. Make the waiting periods tougher. You're never going to be able to get rid of all the uncertainty. There's no question about it. And I don't believe we should take guns away from people in general. I'm not that strong of a gun control advocate. But the thing to do is not loosen up or not stop. The thing to do is to make those gun control laws stricter.
Well, gentlemen, I'll just tell you, it's self-reporting of the most serious aspect of owning a gun, and that's mental illness. You have a gun permit. There's a little box down there that says, have you ever had a mental illness event? And you don't have to do anything but check it, basic to your heart. They can't go into the mental illness records anywhere and find your name or my name.
And that's a major flaw.
Now, in order to do that, you're going to have to attack the HIPAA laws, the Healthcare Information Act, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I know I've got the acronym wrong, but the point is this. People who have mental illness issues from the time they're 16 forward, we don't want that following them around, or do we? Take the Virginia Tech shooter. Those guys knew he had problems, but they were prohibited from passing that information even along to his dorm chief.
And the other reality is people may not have a mental illness when they buy a gun, but they may get one down the road.
They
Well,
do.
they haven't not
You know what?
manifested it. I mean, there's no way of telling that.
And
kind
the
of
other
thing.
thing is, again, my point though is, and this guy bought his gun legally. What about the people that don't go through the legal process? How do you stop them from getting their guns? How do you stop the people that...
Stricter consequences if they use a gun in a violent act. And by stricter, I mean if you take a life with a gun in a violent act, a criminal act, guess what? You get sentenced to death. I don't care if there's a death penalty in that
Well,
state or not.
I don't disagree with that, but I don't think that's actually much of a deterrent, particularly for somebody with a mental
I'm telling you,
illness.
you start killing people, people stop killing
Well,
other
I'll
people.
tell you, you just look at the data, and I'm going to go back to an old standard. The killing of people is about poverty. The highest incidence of people shooting other people are in poverty-stricken neighborhoods. And unfortunately, it's tied around to a certain ethnicity. And so we keep doing that over and over again. So we can cut out a lot of shootings if we can solve poverty. And I'm not sure that has anything at all to do with gun
But
control.
this had nothing to do with poverty.
No.
This particular instance
Absolutely
didn't.
not.
But Bob was right. And I don't know if I'd ever say that one, but Bob, you were right.
Payne and I said that one time at a council meeting.
Bad things happen to
Shocking.
good people every day.
You know, there's another kind of side element to that also is, why was that person hired to begin with? Because he carried a history of rather strong behavior with previous news stations, so the hiring authority, when they brought that person onto the news station, probably did not perform their due diligence before they hired that individual to begin with. Matter of fact, you saw on interviews some of his previous employers going up saying, those people never contacted me for a reference.
There you go.
But
There
if
you
they
go.
did, the reality is in today's litigious society, what they're going to get is Joe Schmo was an employee here from
Right,
X date to
right,
Y date.
right.
Would you hire him back? Joe Schmo was an employee here from X date to Y date. Well, did he do a good job? Joe Schmo, you get the idea.
Well, do
Well-
you remember that time the city hired somebody and they actually brought him on board, and then something popped out of social media that
Yeah,
was
the
really...
Chamber of Commerce
Right.
called it, yeah.
Well, when I was with the county as a commissioner, we had a policy that every employee, every commissioner who's essentially an employee of the county, came on board, got this big software search on your name. And all your blogs and tirades that would be in Facebook or Twitter or something like that would come roaring out at you. So that's part of the solution. Let's do a bigger search. But then we can't even search for ISIS. You know, we can't have a privacy issue. So
I want to go back real
Go back to
fast here and just find out from Carl what exactly I said about the president. It wasn't true, because I'm pretty sure that when
Well, let's go back to your immigration thing. You can't do the thing with immigration. Well, perhaps President Obama may be having some difficulties with immigration, but so has every president since the founding of the country. We go back to the late 1700s. Look at the alien and sedition laws where we had problems with immigration.
what I actually said was, if you think it's tough to deport several million, illegal immigrants, try taking 300 million guns. I mean, that's what I said, and that's true. That's a true fact. That's no reflection on President Obama or anybody else. That's just a true statement.
Okay.
But the statement that I made about, we need stricter gun control, I'm telling you what, if this had been a white shooter and two non-white individuals doing the interview and running the camera, it would have been a hate crime.
well, it
Well,
would have.
it would have been
and
looked
that-
at as a possibility of hate crime.
And-
Well, this
and
isn't
it
even being looked at as a
was
possibility of a
because
hate crime.
It was because the guy pointed to the shootings down in
Mm-hmm.
Charleston, South Carolina. And so he was sort of going to get back at the one ethnicity,
But it's a gun
the-
control thing this time.
This time it's a gun control, but the guy did take it out on the people because of their ethnicity, no doubt.
No,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I really said anything wrong. I mean, it may have been disparaging about the president, but they sure weren't wrong.
Well,
But anyway, getting back again, you know, I mean, and believe me, I get on these topics on Facebook all the time. People, you know, who post about gun control and continue to post and continue to post, and one individual in particular, and I keep asking, give me a solution, please. You can't continue to you know, be anti-gun and all that, and not be able to offer some kind of a solution. Give me one, even a piece of.
Well, what's your solution, Bob?
Buddy, I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't have one. I'm not going to. Hey, I don't have one.
Okay.
I mean, I think that again.
Don't knock folks who think they might have a solution or
But I'm not hearing it. That's the problem. I'm not hearing the solution, Carl.
Well, they're talking about stricter gun control laws is what they're talking
You're
about.
not watching the
But
right
what-
news outlet.
How does that
What does that
manifest
mean?
itself?
What does
What are
that
we
mean?
doing?
Stricter gun control laws. What does that mean?
Make it more difficult for them to sign up for guns, make more extensive background checks, longer waiting periods, all of which is not going to completely solve the problem. There's no doubt about it.
No, it's not, because you know what? A ton of killings are done every single year that do not involve a gun. A ton do not involve a gun.
And gun control advocates are not talking about taking away weapons completely.
That's good, because I don't think that will happen.
No.
That's enough of that. So next up, not-for-profits and how they're funded. Stay tuned. We're back in 3 minutes.